Deep inside the Mandalasana forest lies an anomaly, a massive, leathery cocoon that is entirely alive, breathing and growling like a lion. Inside that pulsating mass is a human child, specifically the second son of King Pandu. He has been trapped in this membrane since the day he was born, 14 years ago. Back at the royal palace, King Pandu's political rivals, led by Arya Suman and the Kurawa faction, see this trapped prince as a massive liability to their own claims to the throne. They decide to solve the problem by sending a squad of assassins from the Gajah kingdom to the forest to execute the boy while he is vulnerable. The hit squad arrives and unleashes everything they have, but swords, spears, and arrows bounce right off the membrane. The outer shell is completely indestructible. Then the cocoon fights back. It rolls like a boulder, crushing the underbrush and physically slamming into the attackers. As it spins, it whips up a localized typhoon, violently ejecting the assassins from the forest. King Pandu cannot save his son, and the assassins cannot pierce it to kill him. Every earthly tool has failed. The solution must come from somewhere else. High above the mortal world, in the celestial realm of Jongring Salaka, the supreme god Batara Guru makes a ruling. The 14-year earthly incubation period is over. It is time to let the boy out. Batara Guru dispatches a highly specific two-man extraction team, Batara Bayu, the god of wind, and his mount, a massive celestial elephant named Gajah Sena. Phase 1 of the divine intervention requires getting inside an impenetrable object. Batara Bayu dissolves his physical form into a gust of wind, seeping straight through the microscopic pores of the mothery membrane. Inside the dark space, the wind god materializes in front of the trapped teenager. Bayu formally claims the prince as his cosmic adopted son. Bayu proceeds to outfit the boy with a complete set of divine armor and jewelry. He wraps him in a distinctive checkered sarong known as the Kine Poling, physically elevating the mortal boy to a celestial status. The prince is now spiritually prepared and armored for the outside world, but he is still physically trapped inside a giant organic vault. That brings us to phase 2. The membrane is so tough that only one material in the universe possesses the sheer density required to puncture it, the glowing ivory tusks of the celestial elephant Gajah Sena. The god elephant drives his tusks deep into the cocoon and rips the shell wide open. Stepping out of the wreckage is no frail child, but a towering, heavily muscled 14-year-old giant. To complete the divine forging, the boy's latent power has to be activated by force. Gajah Sena charges forward, deliberately attacking the newly freed prince to provoke a fight. The teenager instinctively wrestles the charging beast. He matches the elephant's celestial strength, grabs the massive ivory tusks, and physically snaps them off. The moment he wins the struggle, the beast shatters into thousands of glowing light particles. This pure celestial energy rushes straight into the boy's chest, permanently fusing the elephant's life force with his own. The physical remnants of the beast are absorbed as well. The broken ivory tusks merge directly into the prince's thumbs, extending out to form razor-sharp, lethal claws, known as the kuku Pancanaka. Traditional Javanese shadow puppetry captures the visceral energy of this exact moment perfectly. The ornate leather carvings emphasize the sheer, terrifying scale of his new claws and his massive physical frame. Through this brutal combination of celestial armoring and biological fusion, the vulnerable mortal prince died. In his place stood the demigod Bimasena. Bimasena steps out of the Mandalasana forest and immediately walks into a skirmish. The hit squad sent by his political rivals is actively ambushing his brothers. He wades into the fight and effortlessly thrashes the assassins with his bare hands, sending them running for their lives. Within minutes of his release, he has secured his permanent role. He is his family's absolute protector. Looking at the outcome, it becomes clear that spending 14 years trapped in a dark shell was never a curse. This timeline visualizes a core concept in Javanese mysticism known as tapa brata. It is an intense ascetic meditation where a person isolates themselves from worldly distractions to build up immense spiritual power. By trapping him inside an indestructible cocoon, the gods forced the young prince into a 14-year tapa brata. The shell acted as a crucible, isolating him and keeping him entirely safe while his strength compounded in the dark. While earthly politicians panicked and plotted assassinations, their actions had zero impact on the divine schedule. Once the incubation ended, his power simply skyrocketed past mortal limits. This specific myth has been performed for generations, resonating deeply with audiences. It teaches that isolation and delay are not inherently bad things. True strength requires patience, and when combined with absolute purpose, a long, dark period of confinement is exactly what it takes to forge an unstoppable force.